Caitlin Clark has become one of the most compelling athletes in modern women's basketball, captivating audiences with her on-court brilliance and off-court charisma. During her college years, she established herself as a scoring phenomenon, routinely breaking records and delivering performances that drew millions of viewers, remarkable numbers for the sport. This commanding presence on the court translated into extraordinary commercial value. When she entered the professional league in 2024, major brands took notice and her endorsement appeal skyrocketed. Before the Reebok partnership, she had already secured a historic deal with Nike worth $28 million over 8 years, as well as partnerships with major companies like Gatorade and H&R Block. These agreements served as early indicators of her capacity to reshape women's sports marketing. Yet, despite these Caitlin and Shaq achievements, Caitlin insisted on pushing the envelope further. She believed that women's basketball deserved influence and authority on the same level as men's sports. Her decision to engage with Reebok was grounded in a desire not only to be a spokesperson, but to help drive a full-scale revival of a brand known for its legacy in basketball. It wasn't just a monetary choice. It was a strategic alignment with her vision to expand the market's perception and valuation of female athletes. When she entered the towering Reebok headquarters in Boston in early 2025 to finalize her agreement, she didn't simply sign a contract. She walked in as a partner with a clear vision to grow a women-led business narrative at Reebok. The reboot of Reebok's basketball image didn't happen by chance. Central to this transformation was Shaquille O'Neal, widely known as Shaq, who stepped into an executive leadership role at the company in late 2023. Tasked with revitalizing Reebok's basketball legacy, once built on icons like Allen Iverson and Shaq himself, Shaq recognized a strategic path forward. In an increasingly polarized market dominated by Nike and Adidas, Reebok needed a bold statement. That statement would come from taking an aggressive stand in women's basketball. Shaq advocated fiercely for Caitlin, not simply as a corporate endorsement, but as a transformational partnership. He approached the deal with the mindset of a coach: deliver meaningful influence, equity, and involvement. He argued that Caitlin should not merely wear the brand. She should become a co-architect of its future. The deal in internal meetings, Shaq pushed for Caitlin to be involved in design studios, boardroom discussions, and marketing strategy sessions. His ambitious and personal commitment helped create an environment within Reebok where female leadership mattered and where branding investment was not a side project but a bold front and center initiative. No women's basketball player, perhaps no female athlete ever, has signed a contract to rival the scale of Caitlin's Reebok deal. The agreement spans 10 years and is structured to provide $75 million in direct compensation, a historic level of personal earnings, and one of the largest basketball endorsement packages to date. However, the contract goes beyond salary. Caitlin also receives equity in the company, a stake that positions her among the decision makers. The contract includes her own signature shoe line, a complete women's apparel line, and a training gear series. But most importantly, it establishes her as a leader of Reebok's revamped women's division with built-in equity-based performance incentives and a voice in strategic planning. Under this contract, Reebok commits to allocating a dedicated budget for marketing and distribution of Caitlin's products, creating lasting visibility both regionally and internationally. In addition to endorsement payments, Caitlin gains access to design studios, product development labs, and marketing oversight roles. She will attend industry trade shows on behalf of Reebok and participate in leadership roundtables with executives. All of this is deliberately positioned to distinguish this deal from a traditional athlete-brand partnership. For Caitlin, Angel's reaction: this was never just about sneakers. It was about building a brand, leveraging influence, and ensuring legacy equity. With any high-profile partnership of this magnitude, there are collateral reactions. Angel Reese, a rising WNBA star who shares many parallels with Caitlin, forms part of a new generation of female basketball icons. Reese, known for her commanding presence in college and early professional play, has secured deals with brands such as Coach and Amazon. Sources close to her report that she had been in discussions with Reebok, potentially exploring a similar shoe line or apparel collaboration. However, with Caitlin's finalization of the Reebok deal, those plans reportedly shifted or even forewent any alliance with Reebok in favor of other opportunities. While Angel hasn't publicly protested, insiders indicate she was caught off guard. Conversations once ongoing reportedly lost momentum after Reebok decided to commit entirely to Caitlin. Observers point to a pointed message that accompanied the Reebok announcement: a clear prioritization of Clark, steering the brand's resources towards a single brand architect. This Caitlin's deal shift sent a strong signal within the industry. Caitlin had become Reebok's central focus. Whether intentional or not, it created ripples of frustration. For Angel, a high-profile star in her own right, watching Caitlin assume Reebok's full support brought both opportunity costs and emotional weight. Caitlin's deal with Reebok is emblematic of larger trends in sports branding and corporate endorsements. Historically, women's sports and particularly women's basketball were overlooked in sponsorship strategies. Male athletes received the lion's share of resources, signature programs, and marketing dollars. Now, however, Caitlin's deal appears to be a fulcrum for long-term change. Reebok's investment is calculated. They are co-investing in the person behind the product. Women's basketball viewership has grown significantly. Standby television ratings for Caitlin's games remain consistently above the 1 million mark. Merchandise sales, jersey, gear, tickets have surged accordingly. Reebok has faith this investment will amplify returns, resulting in a projected $150 million in revenue over the first 2 years with continued growth in the decade to follow. Further, this deal sets a precedent. It resets the baseline for female athlete contracts and may prompt competing brands to recalibrate their investment strategies. In the long term, this could lead to greater participation by female sports marketing executives, improved compensation structures, and increased boardroom representation. On a macro level, Caitlin's contract signals to global brands that women's sports are not just profitable, but profitable at scale. Although Caitlin is American, her influence extends well beyond the United States. Women's basketball has seen surges in popularity in Europe and Asia, and Caitlin's persona is a compelling entry point into these markets. Reebok's strategy anticipates overseas launch events, international sponsorship deals, and retail expansion in cities like Shanghai, Paris, and Lagos. Part of Caitlin's contract includes lead ambassador roles in key international events like the FIA Women's Basketball World Cup and in cultural partnerships in markets where Reebok aims to grow its presence. The international element also adds dimension to Caitlin's equity component. As Reebok expands into new territories, her stake increases in value. Her personal brand will be included in Reebok's global equity model. Brand executives expect this premium branding strategy to create new opportunities in untapped markets, drawing connections between female athletic leadership and consumer culture worldwide. Beyond the numbers, Caitlin's partnership represents a deeper cultural transition. For decades, women's sports brands were marketed primarily for reasons related to image and wellness, gender-type niches that ignored athletic prowess. This Reebok agreement is emblematic of a transformation. Female athletes being marketed as high-performance trailblazers, business leaders, and brand architects. In her new role, Caitlin will contribute to brand messaging that amplifies athleticism, equity, leadership, and cultural inclusivity. Previous generations of female athletes were often told they had to be marketable. But Caitlin's deal reflects a shift. Now they are inherently market-worthy. Her position fosters deeper narrative control where she can shape campaigns that feature her athletic grit, her business insights, and her commitment to women's empowerment. This shift signals the future to other higher-forming women in sports that endorsement value derives not just from popularity, but from ownership, authority, and investment in the future of their sport. Looking ahead, Caitlin's landscape is primed for evolution. On the court, she's expected to continue leading her team, breaking records, and driving national interest in women's basketball. Off the court, her role within Reebok offers opportunities for long-term business success. With her own footwear and apparel lines launching within the next 18 months, her products will compete directly with top-tier Nike and Adidas models. Meanwhile, the equity component could yield returns beyond athlete earnings, creating long-term wealth and boardroom influence. Her position in the Leadership Council could open doors for future graduates, designers, and executives, fostering new pipelines of female talent in sports business. Over time, her deal sets the stage for a generational shift in what female athlete success looks like. From courtside fame to corporate relevance for Caitlin Clark, this is just the start of a larger mission. She's not merely signing sneakers. She's building a legacy. And through this ambitious partnership, she's helping redraw the map of sports branding, corporate leadership, and gender equity in athletics. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest moves in sports and business. Got thoughts on this deal or what it means for the future of women's basketball? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and we'll catch you in the next one.